I asked myself, what if I were intentional? What if I were intentional about this? What if this was the moment that I was closest to God? As an artist, I find joy in creating, making things from not being seen to seen, taking things that are inside my head and creating them into a physical form. Being able to express my feelings, my emotions through all different forms of art. My chosen areas of expression are through DJing music, discovering music, playing and sharing music, dancing, expressing myself through movement, through dance, visual arts, being able to capture a moment through photography or videography, styling, taking pieces of clothing, which are art pieces to me, and putting them together like a puzzle to then form a larger piece of art on the vessel that's wearing it, i.e. me, modeling the clothing. So styling is also a form of expression for me as well. And then also writing, being able to put pen to paper, pencil to paper, and express myself through writing. I believe that is one of the most powerful forms of expression, being able to take what's in here, let it go through the physical body and be translated into words on a sheet of paper. When I'm connecting with my art, nothing else matters. Time literally doesn't exist, or it's completely skewed to my concept of time. There is no concept of time when I'm fully immersed in my art, especially when it's dancing. When I'm fully immersed in dancing, when I block everything out and I'm just one with the music, I can even forget to eat. I can be so engulfed into it. Same thing with DJing. I can be so deeply involved in it that nothing else matters. In those moments of expression, of creativity, I may feel elements of joy where I get ideas, I get reminders, even glimpses of people, thoughts, events. Sometimes it can be something as simple as give this person a call, someone that I haven't spoken to in a while. I may even get a solution to a problem that I've been having or a challenge that I've been facing in that period of my life. So why does this happen? I believe this happens because we are fully present in our art. I am fully present in my art. And in this space of being present, I am in the presence of God. I'm in the presence of a higher being. I'm in the presence of one, all, the Almighty, whatever label you have for a higher power. I believe we're in the presence of that while we are creating, while we are fully immersed in our art. We've eliminated all fear. We've eliminated all distraction. You're not on your phone. You're not thinking about your phone. You're not thinking about the challenges or problems in that very moment. You're not thinking about the argument that you had with your spouse. You're not thinking about the issue you have at work. You are literally immersed in that art, in that form of expression. We are fully immersed in the creation of something that we love. And God is love. Love is God. So even in the act of doing something that you love and being immersed in it, you are literally welcoming in God. It is your expression of love. So when we're in the presence and in that space of truly being aware, I believe that's when all of the answers, all the downloads come in. So in the beginning, before actually being intentional in regards to communicating with God while I was in my art, I didn't directly correlate dancing to being able to communicate with God. I didn't really correlate the two, being that this was the space and time that this experience was happening. But as I continued to practice mindfulness and my awareness grew, I was able to observe my thoughts, knowing that I am not my thoughts. I'm an observer of my thoughts. The thoughts are coming from this physical being, this person that I'm in right now, but I am not my thoughts. So it took me a while to separate myself from my thoughts and also to see when those thoughts were coming up, when those ideas were coming up. And so I started to notice that during the moments of full presence, of love in expression, is when I received the information. So when I started to be aware of it, I turned it into an experiment. It was like, all right, if this is what I think is happening, let me actually be more intentional about it and set myself up to see. This is important to mention, to not necessarily attach yourself to the outcome of connecting to God when you're doing your art, but just knowing that this is an open channel, this time and space that you've created for yourself is an open channel to communicate to God and receive messages from God. So in this experiment, I asked myself, what if I were intentional? What if I were intentional about this? What if this was the moment that I was closest to God? So then I start to become intentional. This was a time that I was having a conversation with God. This was the moment where I was fully allowing myself to be present. It allowed for me to hear, to be able to listen. So within this intentionality, I started to ask myself a question before going into my art, before expressing. Sometimes I would write that question down. Sometimes I would just have it in my mind before going into this space. I would set myself up for the time and space to do it, uninterrupted, no distractions, so I could fully go into my flow. And so for me, what I realized that it takes me around 20, 25, sometimes 30 minutes to fully immerse myself into that art, to fully lock in, to tune in to that space. Some people may take 5, 10 minutes, and that it's more than likely is because they've practiced it so much that it's just a part of how they are. Now that I'm taking my artistry a little bit more seriously and dedicating more time into it, this is becoming more of a practice of expression and seeing how I operate when it comes to my creativity, when it comes to my art, and when it comes to tuning in to my flow. So I would ask the question, either write it down, say it out loud, have it in my mind, and let it go and go into the art. If it's dancing, the music is loud, either out within the space, or I'll have headphones on, and I will start to breathe and kind of get into a meditation with my breath, and then let the music take me wherever. Listen to the emotion of the artists that are playing the music. I would see if I can feel where they were coming from. I would then have a conversation with them through my body, and I would get so deeply immersed into it, and out of nowhere, a thought that something I was not thinking of at all in that moment. A thought came, an answer came, a suggestion, an idea, and sometimes it would be a direct answer to the question that I posed. I would even get visions. I would get sometimes plans for the next step for a challenge that I was dealing with in that moment. So there were times that it would be so overwhelming or so much, or I would have so much joy to know that everything would be okay. I would find myself wanting to write it down. And so I think it's important in these spaces of presence to develop a practice of just receiving the information and letting it process. But then other times being able to find a space to capture that idea. And I believe that within the capturing, it's kind of like a nod to God that you're listening, that you hear, and you're taking heed of the guidance. I believe that you start to strengthen your communication. When you are in your art and an answer comes or an idea comes, it's important to find ways to capture it, so then you can look back and say, that seems to directly answer my question, or it may just plant a seed for something else that's meant to grow in the future. There would be even many moments of tears of joy, tears of love, as if my heart was just opening up, cracking open during those moments. There would be moments where it felt like a release. And at least for me, I do understand the direct correlation of dancing being a healing form to the body, especially for people that can relate to dance as their form of expression. And so having that space to heal, to express, to receive, to communicate is so powerful. Creation or expression is a channel to God. This is only one channel of expression, of connecting to God, of feeling God and being one with God. There are a few others that I've experienced for myself. I will be sharing them on future videos, so please like this video if this resonates with you in any way. Why? Why like this video? Why do YouTubers say that? It's because it helps us. It helps us create content. It's really to communicate with Al Gore's rhythms or algorithms that what I'm putting out there resonates with someone out there. So basically the thumbnail and the title has brought you in, and then what you're watching aligns with the thumbnail or title, or it has connected with you in some way. So liking this video, and even next level subscribing, and even next level sharing, and doing all those three is an indication to the algorithm that you enjoy the content that the YouTuber is making. And no, it was not created by Al Gore, but I like to pronounce it that way. But seriously, it does let this formula know that whatever I've put out there is resonating. So then it will start to push the video out to more people through recommendations. So I would appreciate it if you would do that. Thank you. So if you are currently going through some challenges, if you are in need of some answers, I invite you to find, if you haven't found already, your form of expression. What brings you joy that you're able to communicate through your body, through your words, through visual arts, through painting, through dancing, through cooking. What allows for you to express yourself, and do that thing. Dedicate and allow yourself to be fully present in that thing. So for me, my number one chosen form of expression is dance. For you, it may be something else. But I invite you to be more intentional while you're doing that art. And then just be open to the possibilities. You never know. Till next time, peace.